welcome to the Always Betting Podcast. I am your co-host, Pisky. I am joined, as always, by the one and only Godfather. And again, for the second time this week, as promised, we got another prop maniac with us. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Goofy Newfie. Heels, what's going on, brother?
Boys, pleasure to finally make it.
Lord Thunder and Jesus!
You're working on it. Dita is me old cock.
What's going on, my man? Thank you very much for doing this. This has been a long time coming. You are a right-hand man in Vegas at Bet Bash. It was nice to meet you for the very first time, and you said it then and there. You said, I want to do the pod. So here we are. We did it. We finally got around to doing it.
Made it happen.
Yes, sir.
I'm really happy to be here, boys. It's been way too long. Long time listener, first time guest, I guess we'll say.
Don't say stuff that's going to lead credence to like the respectability of this podcast.
There you go.
We got a good one for you today, folks. There's all kinds of surprises and special stories, and
I don't like surprises.
Yeah, Godfather freaking out as per usual. Just out of the gate, though, this is a question that's been on my mind for a while. I think I asked you privately, but I'm going to ask you publicly because if I'm thinking about it, I'm sure I'm not the only one thinking about it. The term is interrupting me with phone alerts again.
Okay, I forgot to hit Do Not Disturb. Take it easy.
The term Newfie, is that derogatory?
What a fucking stupid question.
No, not at all. I don't think it is, personally. I would say there are probably people in this province that would say it would be derogatory, but I don't think it is. You
don't think it is? So I can eat, like, you're the Goofy Newfie, so I always drop the goof, or Goofy, Newfie, whatever.
Not at all, bro.
But I've hesitated a few times to say Newfie because I'm like, fuck, I don't know if that's like dropping in.
Oh, man.
I
would be careful. I wouldn't say it to everybody, but, you know.
Okay.
For me,
correct.
No
friends of ours, we're good to go.
Friends of the familia, you know.
Okay, good
He
stuff.
needs to clear the usage of that word.
No. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. And that's what I just asked.
Gotta fucking teach you everything. Okay.
So, you guys watching on YouTube or Spotify, you're going to see that these guys are like, I don't know, there's some sort of dress code to today's episode.
I threw on what I wanted to wear. Tony was already wearing it when I came on. It seems like it's okay.
And Godfather, you noticed the color of my hoodie.
Where'd you get that rag? In Cleveland?
I feel like it mixes well with your guys' black and yellow. What do you think?
Mixes well, like you're about to get fucking crushed.
Nice.
Let's go.
Sandwich.
Like peanut butter and tuna fish.
Okay, so we have something really special right out of the gate here. Someone had a 60th birthday 3 weeks ago. So that someone is the Godfather.
That is cool.
And the Goofy Newfie reached out to me a few days before the party and said, listen, I got this great idea. We got to get the Godfather something special, but it's going to take some time to make its way north of the border to Toronto. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. So the Goofy Newfie and I collaborated on this. Okay. I was
okay with this until I heard that.
I made a quick decision to hit up the Nespresso shop at Yvonne Mills Mall prior to the Godfather's party. I got him a shit ton of Nespresso pods because I know those will probably last him a few weeks, the way he drinks that stuff.
6 months for some people, a month for me. It's okay. Thank you very much.
So the gift finally got here. Okay, specially wrapped from the Goofy Newfie himself. Let's see it.
Now, if I didn't know better, those are donuts. And now that you say you collaborated on this, Positivo?
Listen, this is not a picks episode. We know what we should be doing in that section of the podcast. But this is special. This is from the Goofy Newfie and I for all your hard work. The Godfather's been pounding the pavement with the NFL, the NHL, and yesterday we started with the NBA. Like, that was one hell of a slate. And, we thought this would be a nice little
1 second.
thank you. And what the hell is he doing?
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, now that he's gone, we can have a proper conversation. Heels.
Oh, what's he coming back with?
I have no idea.
Oh.
What is that? What'd you do?
My light went flying off when I banged the gift. Anyway,
okay.
Now it looks
All
like
right.
now it looks like I'm in a fucking dungeon. Hold on, Jesu Cristo. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Hey,
Let's go.
You can
Is it
adjust
finally
on
time?
the fly. You can adjust on the fly.
Heels has some stories to tell us, so can you make this quick, please? Can you speed it up?
Do you want me to open up the gift? Is that what?
Yes,
you're...
yes. We're
this
opening
is a
up
small
live.
thank you.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Okay, that's bad.
Small thankful for all you've done and continue to do.
But I've done nothing.
Nah, buddy.
I don't
This
like
is
the
amazing
wrapping
audio
paper.
content, by the way.
I must.
Yeah. We got the ASMR going here.
If there's sand in this box, there's going to be some fucking shots. Let me tell you.
I'm giving it to Cusimano.
Do you not see the
First
delicate
time.
sign on it? Yeah, Jesus
Right?
Christ. Just throwing things around over there.
Okay.
Still no
Yeah, the
guesses,
paper's
which is-
off.
Paper's off.
Should have brought him
What's in
scissors.
the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What the fuck is in here? Oh!
Uh-oh.
Oh!
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Now he's being careful.
Uh-oh. The suspense is killing everyone.
Oh! Oh my fucking God.
Whoa! Whoa!
What's going on?
You can't put that on your cannonball head.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Immediately
Look at
smudges
this.
the
Look
auto.
at this. Oh, this is gonna make a clip and a half.
Incredible. Turn your head, bud.
It's fucking beautiful. Let's go. I'm doing the podcast with this thing on.
No, you can't. You
Yeah.
can't. You missed the whole point of this thing. You gonna put your glasses on? That looks
I
real
was
tough.
going to try. But anyway, let's go. Beautiful.
Careful,
Fucking chin
careful,
strap.
careful.
Careful! Did you see the side of that, or did you just rip it out of the
No,
box
he
and put
didn't.
it on
He
your
didn't.
head? I don't think
he
he did either.
You didn't see the sign.
not
Take it
a
off your
Steeler?
head.
It's not a Steeler.
Take it off your head.
That's bad.
No, this could be like emergency 911 dealio right here. Oh,
Gently
shit.
take it off your head.
Oh! It's signed?
It's signed.
Holy fuck.
Little TJ Watt for you, buddy.
That's going in the vault. Okay, hold on. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And the value gets immediately crushed as he jams it on his head.
Yeah, like you see his greasy hands like wiping the side of it, like just gonna wipe it off.
Oh my God. And you know what? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, wrong.
Yeah,
okay.
no, this is off the
my
rails.
God.
Off the rails.
Oh my God. And the Steelers are wearing Color Rush on Monday. Oh my God.
What's that mean?
You know,
The jerseys they're wearing, those would be that helmet.
Really? They're using that one on
Yeah.
Monday? Oh,
You just don't fucking know nothing, man. Oh my God. Everybody, if I don't have my glasses on, but right now, I'm pretty sure that says TJ motherfucking Watt on there. Number 90. And who am I wearing? Who am I wearing?
you're an animal.
We did well.
You're an animal.
We did well.
I think we did well. I think we got him.
So we like it? It's better than a box of sand?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So when I dropped it off the other night,
Newfie, where have you been all my life? Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
happy 60th to the Godfather. Okay,
Thank you, buddy.
Oh, my
Now-
God. Thank you, guys. I wish you hadn't had it of included Pisk, but thank you so much.
So
That
very
is
welcome,
beautiful.
buddy.
No, seriously. Like, I know you make good money, but seriously, this is way too much. I'm gonna have
Nah, buddy, my pleasure.
Oh my God! I can't wait till when the wife comes home. I don't know how many things we have to throw out of the credenza because I need room.
Gonna be on the dinner table when you're done.
Oh my God!
There's another piece to it too. There's a case that it comes in, but the case was way too delicate, and I couldn't hide it. I
got my own case. You have the case?
I have the case.
Okay.
You have the case, then why is your other one so goddamn dusty?
We saw it. It was embarrassing.
Nat sent us a picture. Yeah, what the fuck?
I haven't been down there in a little while. Why is she sending dusty pictures? Family meeting.
All right, let's get
God.
this party started.
I need a few minutes.
I can tell you're juiced now. This is crazy. This could take them the entire 50 minutes to to get his composure back.
That smile.
Like that. We're gonna do podcasts like this. Okay, let's go. I'm ready to go.
I love it.
Okay, couple quick question for you Steeler guys. Danger Russ. You guys confident with that now or what?
No, I'm not confident, really. I mean, listen. I'll go first, and then we'll give the floor to our esteemed guest. I mean, I want to see Dangerous play against some of the top teams before we start making that commentary. That's all.
That's it?
Go ahead, Tony. What, you want me to go fucking crazy again? Like,
no, that's question one.
I'm interested to see it again because it's been two different offenses. With Russ, they threw the ball down the field. Justin, he didn't throw the ball at all. Like if he scrambled, it was a run, which was great. But it was a completely. When was the last time he threw 38 points? How can we say no?
No.
Kill him, man.
No, that is true.
What about?
Oh my God, it's a Beckett. You think I don't know what Beckett's are? Oh my God.
Jesu Cristo.
So, I saw something that said that maybe Justin Fields is potentially on the trade block going into the deadline. That's crazy, right?
I don't think so.
Why would they do that? Why would they not keep an insurance policy like that? And nothing's to say that Russ is going to do that again. Like his first half was pretty garbaggio, was it not?
Well, the whole team was a little disjointed in the first half. And I think they came out a lot better in the second half. The defense is always going to be there. Last 2-3 games, though, last 2-3 games, giving up some big plays, which I don't like. Good offenses will take them every single time. So you got to. But overall, I was happy that Highsmith came back. And when he's on the other end, two guys can't just choke TJ all game long, and the refs can't be smoking fucking weed all day long and all game long and not call shit. So, it's the defense is getting there.
Beanie Baby. How about him?
Well, fucking guy was roasted castagne for
all over
games,
the place,
right? And he had a legit game. Good for him. Because when you're young and you get roasted, you go one of two ways. You either buckle down and work to improve yourself and show and reward the coach's trust in you to be out there to fucking begin with, or you just continue to get burned for your entire career in the NFL. End of story.
I like how the Steelers tackle. I don't watch a lot of games, but they always get the tackle done. Whereas other teams, like, they screw it up and there's broken tackles. Guys are getting 8 yards or going for 8 yards. They turn it into 22. That doesn't happen.
No matter what skirt wearing left wing team fanatic tries to tell you, the Steelers are the benchmark for defensive football in the NFL all time. Anybody tries to tell you otherwise, they know Stugotz about football. Did I redline? I didn't redline. Okay,
No, you
let's
did pretty
go.
good.
Let's go.
What about your buddy Najee? What happened there in the post game?
He ate a salad. That's what happened there. No, that's a big fun. I haven't seen it, but I'm assuming.
Well,
he went for the other N word, not Newfie.
Yeah. Well,
that's why I kind of started this episode off with that, because I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be Najee Harris. Classless.
He made a mistake, and
Made a
plus,
mistake. Professional. You're not supposed to make mistakes.
It happens.
Okay. Let's get this party started, gentlemen. There's your Steelers thing. Can you put that thing away? Like, can you calm down? Like, I don't know. You're distracted now. Like, you're gonna keep going into the Steeler things. We have a guest here.
You don't think things through.
Let him talk.
You don't think things through. That's why. You think I'm going to get a gift of that caliber on a podcast, and I'm not going to go fucking nuts?
No, we knew you were going to go nuts. That's why we did it like this.
Well, I mean, I'm contained right now.
Oh, I know.
So
I know.
So listeners, if you see me doing this a little bit, it's just because I have a thing of beauty beside me.
All right, Tony, we gotta ask you some questions here, because you're out in Newfoundland. You're what we like to call, I guess, Rec Plus better, right? You know what you're doing. You use it as a sideline, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. I don't know. I don't want to pry too much. But this is the Always Betting Podcast. The Godfather and I obviously have a very deep history in the sports betting fields and just taking risk on in general. So how did you get started in sports betting?
I guess I'll just start with how I got started in gambling. Me and you were about the same age. So Moneymaker won the World Series, and that was obviously a huge deal. So we started playing a lot of poker growing up, transitioned that into online poker. And then we'd be sitting around playing cards on a Friday night, and one of our buddies turned 19, and we started playing Prolines. And
Proline?
never stopped from there. Oh, yeah. I'll never forget that very first season. Me and my buddy had at the time it was a big ticket. It was probably, I think it was $5 or $10 to win about 15 or 1600. And it had 3 ties and the Bears. And the Bears gave up a touchdown, and they were only up by 3. So the other team kicked the onside kick, and for no reason whatsoever, the Bears returned the onside kick for a touchdown.
TD.
Yeah, and we won our ticket. And that was like my first big gambling win. Oh, I had exploded. High five your buddy. I was hooked. And I did the whole Proline thing for, I don't know, most of the way through cooking school. I still did it when I was cooking as well.
Okay.
I didn't really get into the offshore, say, sports betting industry until maybe 2018, 2019. I was pretty late getting into it.
Wow.
Okay, so the Proline stuff out in Newfoundland, is it the same way it works out here in Ontario, where you're just going to the convenience store or gas station and you're playing your tickets?
$25 max, 3-game parlays.
$25 max?
Oh, man. Like, back then it was $25. You had to play 3 games.
Oh.
There was a guy, I'll tell you a story. There was a fella, now that we've known your story, and there was a guy here doing the same thing. I would be behind him in the convenience store, and he'd be taking the same ticket. He'd be jamming that thing through 25, 30 times, max bet, and it would just come off max risk released or whatever, and he'd move on to the next one. And I'd be there for 10 minutes just like, what is this guy doing? I had no idea. But he was doing the same thing back then.
As you get older, you start listening to this weird-ass podcast from these dorks out in Toronto and Costa Rica, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a second here. And then you get into it yourself. So let me ask you, after that initial win, what were the next Proline bets like? Oh. Did you stay hot, or it was a complete implosion?
Implosion. I had no edge at that time. We were just literally getting together
firing
on Sunday
away.
morning. 100% Sunday morning at 2 o'clock before the game start. We're in there jamming tickets at the convenience store, hoping we get them rang in before the game started. We were straight gambling at that point.
Nice. Yeah,
but that was fun. I mean, everybody starts like that.
Absolutely. I started that exact way, and for us, I don't think it was a minimum of 25, but I was playing $2-3 tickets. I was never allowed to play more than $2.
25, sorry.
Maximum 25.
Maximum
okay,
25.
So thankfully they had maximum 100 out here when we were doing our lottery thing. Otherwise, 25 would have been impossible. But again, I guess you could just sit there and keep playing ticket after ticket after ticket, which we kind of did to keep our tickets under $1,000. A lot of people like that little strategy that we use. But okay, so when do you start to realize that, hey, maybe this sports betting thing is not just something that, takes money out of people's pocket. How do you, where are you in your life where you start seeing like, well, wait a second here. I think I can actually do this and make this a sideline.
The year was 2020. There was a global pandemic happening. And the basically only sporting events that you could bet on were like marble races and Madden simulations and things like that. So I quickly found somebody. What a crazy time. What I did, I quickly found someone who figured out that all the books were doing for like things like Madden Sims, where they were literally like simulating the game like 200 times and then just averaging it out, making stats, and that was what they were making their props off of. So what we started to do was just simulate the game more times. So we simulate the game 1,000 times and have better numbers than the books. So that was like the first time I realized, oh, the alarm came on. There's an edge to be found in lots of things, and then it just started to. That was my first like true edge.
That's where you started to realize that there was an edge. It was in Madden simulations.
Yeah, that was before I started doing props. That was before I started doing anything. I ran into a guy on Twitter. I don't even remember his name. It was like 3 months of just following his stuff. Forth. And that's all.
Really?
That was crazy.
Because we did the same thing. When sports got shut down, the full dog said, listen, I think everyone's doing these Madden simulations. So I literally went to the Best Buy at Yonge and Dundas in Toronto, lined up, bought myself a PS5, bought Madden, went home, and that's what I did all day long. It's just sim after sim after sim. Now, if you're saying you did it thousands of times, did you do it the manual way that I did it?
He had 8 consoles set up running simulations. He sent me a picture of it. It was on his desk. It was COVID, brother. What else are we going to do? Like, there was nothing to do.
What?
Wow. So he was running. He crushed.
Oh my God. Godfather, can you chime in here? This is crazy, right?
This is crazy. You remember how I laughed at you when you walked into the office with that PS4, I think it was, when you went and bought it. So yeah, 8 of them, and you're simulating thousands of Madden games?
That's insane.
That's insane.
Well, everyone thought I was nuts. All my friends that would come over and are like, what are you even doing all day? Are you even playing? I'm like, no.
Confirmed.
Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just simulating. I want to see the score. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, always betting. You know how it goes. That's crazy. Okay, so you started noticing edge. At the time, you were a chef, right? You're a proper chef, are you not?
I am. I was running a restaurant, almost becoming co-owner of a restaurant, actually, when COVID hit. We were transitioning into it. Yeah.
Oh, man. So one dream gets shut down by some freaking thing I don't think any of us actually still understand 100% of what the fuck happened back then.
Nope.
And you do this Madden simulation pivot, and now
it's way more than that. But yes.
and now you're the goofy Newfie. Unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
I got to go back a couple of years before that. I was playing a lot of daily fantasy sports, DraftKings, FanDuel, things like that. Like back when that started in 2014, 15, 16, when that was all over the place, the edge in that was massive. So I was addicted to that as well. Oh, huge. People didn't know what they were doing. Like in the early days of DFS, no, it's very hard now. Very, very hard now. But like in the early days, like people didn't know to, say, stack a quarterback with receivers on a team. Like they just didn't do that, and then it became a point.
Was it like a correlation thing?
Yeah, it was all correlation. Like
okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, the edge is long gone. So for like a hockey, you could take like the entire top line of a hockey game, and if a guy gets a goal, they probably get 2 assists. Or an NFL guy with two receivers, or like this. It's obvious stuff. But back in the day, people just didn't think about this, and it became like, who had the best projections, then who knew how to use the game theory the best. And now it's all game theory because the tools are crazy. The projections are so accurate. And that's a lot of what I turned from that side to taking those projections that I already had. And then you could basically strip them out into props. And that's a much easier angle to attack than daily fantasy is, even though daily fantasy has its advantages because you can get down so much money in a day. Like,
really? Way easier?
hundreds of thousands, maybe millions. I don't know. It's possible. I don't know how, like, some of the big guys these days, you can jam every, like, if you think about it, if you 150 max, like a $20 tournament, that's $3,000. They probably run 3 of those in a day. You play literally everything all day long, just max enter everything. Same lineups and everything, and your volume just gets crazy.
Wow.
I remember that shit. I remember it being very tempting.
It's very. I still play on Sundays. I still love football. I think it's still fun. I don't have an edge. I do it just for fun. Very, very low stakes. Just run some lineups out there on Sunday and see what happens.
Nice.
Well, I know there was a guy, friend of a friend, that I believe works at Bodog. He was big into the fantasy as well, and one of my buddies was trying to explain it to me and stuff like that, and he kind of got into the correlated stuff, but the people that these correlated dudes that figured out that there's a system behind it, the lunch money that they were taking were coming from guys like me and the Godfather, because how many days at the Lottery Corp Godfather do we sit there and try to put together the biggest, strongest, whether it be NFL Sunday fantasy football team or the biggest, strongest Tuesday night hockey team? And we'd get our clocks cleaned.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I suspected it was the bots that were beating us.
But just like sports betting, like the top, say, 5% of that took 80% of the money off of DraftKings.
Yeah.
It's just the way it worked. Like the whales on that were so good at it, and it's so ahead of their time. Like there's still a few people that are really good and still grinding it and making great livings off of it, but it's nothing like what it was 5 years ago.
Exactly.
Once they transitioned to sports betting, it kind of, the focus definitely shifted from their daily fantasy product to their sports betting product.
Oh, for sure. Because, if you look, DraftKings and FanDuel both started off as daily fantasy, did they not?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And it's basically the same thing. If you're betting on props, like you're putting together a couple of players to do something, you're basically putting together a lineup the same kind of way.
Yeah.
If you put together the same day parlay with props, it's the same as putting together a DraftKings lineup, really, when you think about it. You're looking for ceiling outcomes.
That is amazing.
No, it is. See all this opportunity, Godfather, and what are we doing? We're competing with one another in the Jungle Fantasy Football League, putting hours upon hours, sweatshop hours. Less than sweatshop people were making 5x what we were making if you won the league.
You had to win.
That's no guarantee either, right? Especially when I'm around. Godfather wasn't winning when I was in the league. So
what?
That's how it boils down. What are you going to do?
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'm not even going to comment.
So the year is 2020. The pandemic hits. Tony says, I'm not doing this restaurant thing. When does the light bulb go off in your head say, I got to go in that direction? That's the sports betting direction.
Just started grinding, buddy. Like I literally started taking it much more seriously. I subscribe. I'll shout out BetStamp here. I signed up for BetStamp, started logging all of my bets, finding the best prices for things. I slowly grew like a $1,000 bankroll into a $10,000 bankroll into a $20,000 bankroll. It just kept going and going and going pretty quickly. So I got to a point, I don't know, maybe a year and a half in, where I was currently making more money than if I went back to the culinary industry, and the hours were so much better, and it became a no-brainer at that point. Like there was no way I was going back. It's not an old man's game. There aren't a lot of old chefs kicking around. It's something you do till you're about 35, and then you gotta just be done with it. The lifestyle's too crazy.
Well, it's a lot. I gotta give a shout out to my pops. My pops told me from a very young age, you are not working in the restaurant business, because he grew up working in the restaurant business. He's still, he's retired now, but still pitches in a few days every now and then. Restaurant de la Place. Got to give a shout out there.
Mm-hmm.
But
GSP.
He said, you are not working. The closest thing I got to working in a restaurant was he let me be a busboy at 16 years old. Not a server. He didn't want me to get a taste of the tips.
No.
Because a lot of people cash in hand there.
You'd still be doing that, Pisk.
Right? Could you imagine? But if it wasn't for my dad, I would have never went in this direction. I would have never went and did more schooling in Belleville, applied at the Lottery Corp, all this stuff, getting out of my hometown. I'd still be in my hometown grinding in front of the stove. And my dad said, no way, because the thing that he was annoyed about was the amount of hockey tournaments that he missed when I was a kid. Because in the restaurant, what were your days off, Tony, when you were working in the restaurant?
Usually Mondays and Tuesdays, but when I became like top dog, I could take Sundays and watch football.
Sunday, they let you take
I
a
would
weekend?
quit. Oh no, I
Okay.
would quit. Yeah,
Oh,
there's
because of
you either
football.
have me Tuesday to Saturday or you don't have me.
Okay. But yeah, his days off were Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Because weekends, forget it. You're not asking for a
Right.
Saturday
You're not
off in the
going-
restaurant
It's tough.
business, right?
It's
Yeah.
really tough.
That's it. So, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. So, here you are, culinary background. I'm doing
What
this
a tough
sports betting
decision.
thing. Yeah, well,
It was. It
the
really
writing,
was.
yeah. No, because it's crazy. It's a little crazy. Like what we do, we talk to each other every day. And if anyone like were to pry on those conversations or just see what goes on in our group chat, they would think we've legit lost our marbles. Would they not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of fun. I'm not complaining about this, but it is a path that is very less traveled. Can you say that?
Non-traditional, we'll say.
It's an acquired taste. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
Godfather, how do you explain to the people in your circle about what you do for a hobby? Because you and I, we just do this recreationally, but how do you explain it to people?
I try not to answer them directly ever. That's the way I handle it.
Same way with me.
I
If
just
it's a
got some
you,
stuff
Cheese?
to do. I got some stuff to do. I'm going to be busy for a couple of hours. I'll see you at 4. And that's it.
If I'm on the golf course and someone asks
Because
me
I
what
can't,
do, like,
I can't explain what am I going to explain to people?
Yep.
What am I going to explain to people? Oh, you seem tense. Yeah, there's a fucking 150 prompts that I'm trying to follow here. Hello.
I thought you were going
Thanks.
to give a shout out to that brand new website that you signed up to, or what's that called? It's theirs.
Oh,
Had a lot of fun there.
Jesu Christo.
We'll save that for an episode with Neil, because I think those two together, like this, that will be fireworks extreme. I'm really looking forward to it.
I don't want, okay. Without giving away too much, this was the injustice of all injustices. That's all I'm going to say. End the story. We will talk about it on the next one.
What do you
show me respect?
They did not at all.
What do you tell people, T?
Man, I don't. It depends where I am. Like my family obviously knows what I do, but like if I'm on the golf course and I'm playing with a stranger and someone's like, "What do you do?" Usually I'll just tell them, like, unless it's someone I'm having a good time with, I'll just tell them that I'm in like computer programming or
Yeah, that's it. That's
an actuary about like something, and they don't
there you
really.
go.
You never really get a follow-up question because it's not that interesting. But the minute you tell someone that you bet on sports, like I did that last summer, and the very first question I got, "Oh shit, who's going to win the Super Bowl?" And I'm like, "That is what."
Yeah.
You just gotta avoid
this. What your response is 100% the response that Spanky gives when people ask him what he's doing. If he's in the mood, he says sometimes he'll drop the sports betting thing, and then you get into it a little bit. He goes, most of the time though, he goes, I tell him I'm a programmer, and they just leave it alone.
Yeah.
That's the next 4 hours of my afternoon. If I tell him that on the first hole or something, like that's the only thing we're going to talk about the rest of the day.
Oh, for sure. It's
100%. And it try being myself, who doesn't even watch a lot of these games. So people are, they come to me with these big trades or these big injuries, and they expect me to have a really good opinion on them. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't catch that. That must have been new. I've been having troubles with my phone. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I still can't believe how much Benny sweats. He loves to watch the games. I'm more like you. I don't watch a lot of games.
No,
because you have too much action across the board. There's too many games to watch. Like,
you're done with it by the time it starts. Like, that's it then. I don't want to look at this anymore. Like,
we have no control over it.
It's over. My stuff's good. It's fine. It's in there.
I got to do it, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That rhymes.
I appreciate it. It's crazy.
Speaking of control factor, listen to this. During the pandemic, we went on a rough patch, and I remember being super stressed out about it. But again, totally out of my control. So watching these games with those stands and the fans, none of our things were working. And it was driving me crazy. Like, it was like legit stressful. I'm like, is this the beginning of the end for this thing of ours? Like, holy fuck. Right?
It didn't look good, did it?
What do you mean it didn't look good?
What I meant, the stadiums and the way.
Oh, it didn't look. No, because the scoring, like, nothing was working with our betting stuff.
Everything
our
was
algorithms
different.
and stuff. Everything was different. So it's like, okay, this is an unknown factor. Like, do you keep, riding it out, playing the variance thing, or do you fucking hit the handbrake, right? Like, as hard as you can, because this thing could get really nasty really fast. So I remember being in that mind space where you're out of control. You have no control over everything. So what I would do is I'd fire up the Madden and play Madden, something that I did have control over during NFL Sunday. So I'd get my football fix, but with something that I was behind the controller of, which I don't know. A little bit different way of doing it, but that's how I had to cope with the stress of
it blows off steam. It works. Point.
Yeah, absolutely. So doing the sports betting thing now, right? You just mentioned you would never go back to the chef thing.
Not full time. I still do some catering and things like that for some like old clients and like my old bosses and things like that.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Christmas time, I'll go down. It's great to see everybody, and I'll go down one night, and it's like you go in and you cook. You have a bottle of wine with them, and like it's just very relaxing.
Nice.
That's still fun to me, but I can't imagine going back. I just can't.
I gotta say, Tony, sorry to cut you off. I was just gonna say, I have not seen a piece of meat that you've prepared that hasn't looked 1,000%.
Well, that's the thing. That's when we first started chatting with the Goofy Newfie. Like, I get, this is by no means a brag or anything, I get a lot of DMs, right? From Instagram stories and Twitter and all this shit, people asking business opportunities, whatever. A lot of it's junk, but there are some good ones. And all of a sudden I start getting these DMs from this Goofy Newfie, this guy in Newfoundland, sending me all these like delicious steak dinners and barbecue stuff. And I'm like, what the hell? This guy seems like quite the gem. And then, the Godfather tells me, you talk to that guy from Newfoundland at all? He sends me quite a bit. I'm like, man, he sends me all kinds of stuff too. He's like, holy shit, he seems like a cool dude. How did you stumble upon this thing of ours? Because you said you've been listening to our thing since the very beginning, right? We're talking episode one 3 years ago. Bulldog and me in Uvita, Costa Rica, in a swimming pool.
All the way through with Beanie.
With Beanie, everybody. Of course. Familia. How did you stumble upon us? I'm very curious.
I believe I heard your story on Circles Off. When you went on and told your whole story about everything. And then I started to dig, found you online, and then I found your podcast. I just think it's the coolest thing. Like, at the time, I would have loved to be a part of something like that. Like, I can imagine how much fun that would have been. Just any part of that would have been just the rush of it. Just, I can only imagine what that was like. And the story attracted me. And then I'd say like your camaraderie with the Full Dog first, and now Ben is the best part of the show.
Well, I wouldn't say camaraderie, eh? I'm just gonna.
Well, you know what I mean. Your banter.
we appreciate that, and you know what? Thank you to everyone that has given very similar feedback, because every now and then I'll put out like something that says, can you reach out and just tell us what we're doing good, tell us what we can improve on. You know what I mean? Because the feedback helps us get better at this thing. And a lot of people said, listen, the sports betting may have been what got us here, but you and that other guy going toe-to-toe every week, arguing about everything under the sun, is what we stick around for. So I guess we got to just keep doing what we do.
I want to take this opportunity just to sort of tell the story of how I actually met Goofy Newfie.
Well, hold on. That's next.
Oh, okay.
Let's see how we got there first. Okay, so Tony, you finished your first, I guess, season of doing this. Like, you put in a lot of time towards this sports betting thing. It works out really well. Yep. Now you're like, holy shit, there is this convention. These guys on the Always Betting podcast never shut up about it. There's this convention out in Las Vegas. It's in August. It's called Bet Bash. What is the first thing that crossed your mind saying, I think I got to go to this thing?
Well, the first thing that crossed my mind, I guess, is this for me? That was for number one, because I didn't know if I was really at the stage, if I needed to go to something like that. which having thought about it was crazy, and I should have went to here before. But I got to the point this year where I have officially gone through all of my accounts in my own name. We've reached out to friends and family. That's when you sort of start to get to a wall. Say, like, winning with a lot of this stuff is not really the hard part. It is getting down. Spanky's not wrong. It's
winning is just the beginning.
You guys are finding it out, like trying to follow some of this prop stuff. Like, you're gonna get win 100 here, win 200 here. Like, it's just so hard to get down on this stuff. So it came to a point where I said I need to meet some people in the industry. Maybe someone has a reach that I can get through. Maybe someone's looking for someone who does some origination and props. Just sort of looking for networking. And I knew that I wanted to meet you guys in person. There were some people from the Bet Stamp office I wanted to meet in person. So it was an easy opportunity. How many times are you going to get everybody in one place? Convention? Like, that's the only time of year that it happens. And it blew my mind above and beyond the people that we met down there. The dinner we went to with Sammy and Tabitha was incredible. Proline John, shout out John. Yeah. Excellent time. Like, this, it blew my expectations. I already can't wait to go next year. It'll be so much better because you already know people when you go down. So it's just like you meet new people and your time just gets better and better and better every year. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It really does. I've been there 3 consecutive years, and I can honestly say, I'm going to look at the camera for this one, Bet Bash has changed my life. Straight fact, straight truth. The opportunities I got from Bet Bash, we wouldn't be sitting here with the Goofy Newfie right now if it weren't for Bet Bash, right? And I guess you could put all this back onto the content that we do because no one would know no one knows who the hell we are, but even less people would know who we are if it weren't for Bet Bash, if it weren't for the content stuff. But honestly, the opportunities you can get, regardless of what you're looking for, it could be someone to help you code something. It could be someone that specializes in injuries. It could be someone like the Goofy Newfie needs to find. I need help getting down on my stuff. I know it's good, but I can't bet it because I'm banned everywhere. Right? And just having a good time and the different personalities and the different stories. And it's incredible. Godfather, back me up on that.
Oh, 100%. I mean, last Bet Bash was my first. And yeah, it was an incredible experience. And yeah, I'd go again just for some of the social aspects of it. Like Tony said.
The amount of people that you meet,
where you're gonna get everybody together in one spot, where you're gonna go, where you're gonna meet all those people up at the Legacy Lounge and have fantastic drinks and just having a laugh after a busy day of whatever it may be, seminars, speakers, connections, activities, eating. And then you go up there and,
whoop it up.
You whoop it up a bit with like-minded people.
That's it. And you can ask anyone from the community, right? Shout out to guys over at Circles Off, Bobby Pizza, Rob Pizzola. It was like, this is by far my favorite week of the season, of the year, right? Getting together with everyone in Vegas. It's really a great time. Okay, so you decide, I'm going to Bet Bash. I got to do this thing. What kind of journey was it like to get there from Newfoundland? Newfoundland, because I don't think there's any direct flights Newfoundland to Las Vegas, is there?
No, it's a tough spot to get out of sometimes, to be honest. Like, we got to connect a lot of ways. So, unfortunately, I ended up going down by myself. So, it was an 8-hour trek to Edmonton. Or, sorry, 6-hour trek to Edmonton. And then an 8-hour layover in Edmonton. And then a 3-hour flight down or whatever. So I left here. It was a Monday morning. I left here at like 6 a.m. and I arrived in Vegas. I remember I went up and shook Rob Pizzola's hand at like 11:30 or 11:45 Vegas time, and I had just arrived. So it's a 4.5 hour time ahead. So nuts. Won't do that again. I will find a better flight next year.
Wowzers. Well, we were doing something similar, right? Remember, I was coming from Greece, so
that's
Greece
right.
To I think it was Switzerland, was it? No, Greece, Germany, England, Toronto, Las Vegas. So yeah, we were comparing notes and see you soon, I guess. We're halfway across the world from each other, but we did make it happen. You finally make it to Bet Bash, and then we'll flip it over to the Godfather because someone was having a little espresso and got a tap on his shoulder. Apparently, I don't know. Tell the story.
So you decided after that crazy airplane voyage to get back and to get to Vegas, you decide to go golfing at 6:00 in the morning. Typical Positivo move, makes 0 sense. Okay, you go do you. I, on the other hand, woke up, and the first thing I got to do is I got to have myself an espresso. So, walked myself across to one of the few coffee joints in Las Vegas that makes a decent spro. Went to Jackpots in Circa, and so I have my coffee, and I'm trying to connect to the Wi-Fi. I'm in the lobby.
Okay.
And this gentleman walks by out of the corner of my eye. I'm like that. He stops in front of me. And he says, Godfather? So I look up. I don't recognize this person. Remember, I've seen Goofy Newfie's duck breasts, tomahawk steaks, briskets. I don't know the Goofy Newfie. So I'm looking at him, and he says, Tony. And in my head, I'm thinking, Jesu Cristo, bro, do you know how many fucking Tonys I know? So I still can't. And I politely just sort of shrugged my shoulders, and then he says, Goofy Newfie. And then I'm like, hey, how's it going? And then I'm like, come on, we got to go have an espresso together. And we went over to Jackpots, had a double espresso. I tried to get him a second one, and he said,
heart palpitations.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Nobody drinks it like you drink it.
Yeah, I said, respect, no problem. And that was Tony was the first person I met at my first Pet Bash.
Beauty.
What an honor.
A few minutes after that, great story, by the way.
Yes,
thank you.
True story too.
And then a couple moments after that, I think there was this like version of a zombie walking in the doors from outside of Circa, a little bit tired, hasn't slept, was just playing golf in the 43-degree heat. And that's where I met you guys. Was it not? You guys had just met there, had you not?
Yeah. We had just finished our spro, and then you came sauntering through.
Awesome. Okay, where do we go next from here? I have a question on there for you, Tony. Favorite things to bet on? I think I know the answer to this, but why don't you share it with everyone? Obviously, it's props.
It's props. Props are my money makers, but I wouldn't say that they're my favorite things to bet on. Like, I think my favorite thing to bet on is probably UFC, and I don't think that I have a massive edge on that. I just love it. Like, something about the fact that the fight can change on an instant. Like, your bet can go from minus 6,000 to dead. Like, something about that is just different than most sports. I love it. I don't miss it.
Now that you mentioned UFC, I'm going to tell you something. My last UFC bet was, who's the vampire guy? Orlovsky?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember
Andrei
him?
Arlovsky. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember him? He still fights? Well,
Jesu
Cristo. About 10 years ago, he fought some scrub, and he was minus 1,000.
You bet on that?
Yes. I did bet a minus 1,000. Minus 1,000 to win 100.
What?
Yeah. So
under whose watch? Was this before you knew me? What do you mean you laid it?
I knew you. I do whatever the fuck I want to, okay?
God.
Anyway, doesn't Orlovsky take a punch in the head and he's staggered and the guy's chasing him around it, and I'm watching this fight like, oh, Jesu Cristo. Let me get out of this jam and I will never wager on another UFC fight in my life. Orlovsky knocked him out after this guy was chasing him around the ring for 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, that's it for me. So I never wagered on again.
Oh, so you ended up winning it.
Yeah, I ended up winning it. Yes.
Okay. But you had the little something's or other puckered up.
Yeah. The sphincter was very tight, pinnacle tight.
Pinnacle lines.
But I bet all the props, but I really don't sweat games. Like, I'm much like you in that sense. I don't watch a lot of games. I watch the NFL. I still love watching the NFL. I'll watch any two teams play.
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch the game tonight. Like, it's going to be great. Can't wait.
Yeah, I throw it on in the background, but like in terms of sitting there actually sweating it, I've done it too much, man. And especially when we got started in all this and we were doing the basketball middles, I mean, I would throw that on at the Lottery Corporation, just on in the background. And yeah, there would be insane sweats because you have morons that would like throw an elbow with 0.4 seconds left. It's a technical foul or whatever, and the other team's going down to shoot 2 free hoops when the game is completely over. They were losing by 25. It bumps you out of the middle zone, and that's probably the reason why my head of hair
got way
got
too
quite
much
a bit of salt in there. Yeah, exactly. But no, it's a time factor, man. As I get older, I am extraordinarily protective of my time. I've noticed that over the last few years, and if you're betting this shit all day long and you got other things going on and, I'm looking to improve myself in other ways, like I don't have time to sit and watch a 3-hour game. And then you put on the West Coast games, another 3 hours. And heaven forbid, if you like a team, then you're watching the post game, you're watching the pre-game, you're going on Twitter, arguing with people about different plays and stuff like that. Was it an end bomb? Was it not an end bomb? You know what I mean? There's so much that goes into it. And I just think it's way too much time. And the same can be said for fantasy sports. Like, I know the Godfather and I, we do it because it's, part of us and we like to break each other's balls. But man, oh man, the amount of time that it takes, right? If I could take all those fantasy hours back, because really, what is it for? Nothing more than ego, because you're not doing it to make money. There's no way, like you'd be better getting a job at Tim Hortons if you wanted money, like honestly, with the amount of time and effort that goes into it. So you're doing it for ego. But if you could take back all those fantasy football hours, fantasy sports hours, all my video game hours, because there was a time and place too. When I get into those sports video games, whether it be Madden or NHL, Chell, I guess is what the kids call it these days, man, I'll play season after season after season. And I remember, like, before the Banfield Group stuff got started, so we're talking 2011-ish, like, I was legit playing video games nonstop, right? I had my OLG job. It was a cushy job. It was easy. 4 days on, 4 days off. The 4 days off, I'd be playing fucking video games the whole time. And then it got to the point, I'm like, you know what? If I lose this job tomorrow morning, I'm screwed. Because where else at 2010, 2011 are you going with sports betting experience? It's either Costa Rica or you're transitioning into something else. I'm going back to the restaurant to be the pizza oven guy, right? So that was when I had the moment with myself saying, no, you got to get rid of this shit and focus on something that can actually like help improve your life. And we stumbled on weaknesses in the sports betting industry. So I don't know where I was going. That turned into a rant that I wasn't expecting. But yeah, be protective of your time is what I'm saying. Time is money. Time is money, and that's why I don't sweat many games anymore.
At least Tony can go back and cook. What are you going to do? Go play fucking video games? Come on, man.
I guess esports, there's a thing for that these days, right? You can, I guess, make some profit there. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about it, but anyways, okay. Where do we go next? The last question we have here is a tip for newbies, but we'll get to that in a sec. I want to know, okay, Godfather, what do you think of that helmet? Where's it going in the house?
No, this I need to. I was not even remotely kidding. I need to replace. I need to clean some shit up. I need to make proper. Now this is proper. This is proper. I need to put it somewhere. I need to get a case for it. Yeah,
I have a case. The case is coming. I couldn't coordinate it to bring it up to ruin the surprise.
Well, make a phone call. Make sure people are on top of things.
So Tony and I collaborated on the idea of this. He was a little hesitant because he already knows you that well. Think about this. This guy, we only met him in person in August, but he knows you that well because I was the one that brought up the Matt helmet. What do you call it? The
mini helmets.
The jerseys. What's the jerseys that they're going to be wearing?
Color Rush.
Oh, the Color Rush ones. Yep.
Yeah. So I like the Matt helmet with the yellow, and there's no, I guess, red and black on it. But he was unsure. He's like, I don't know. The Godfather's like old school, so you think he's gonna like it? So why don't you answer that question for us, please?
No, yeah, I am old school, but this is basically old school transitioning to new school. This is
okay. Well, we were worried. Okay, we're good.
Well,
we're
I mean,
good.
look at the detailing. Look at the Steelers in the front. It's fucking beautiful.
It is.
Let me
You
tell
know
you.
what? When I got it in the mail, I was
This
like,
is coming in my wooden box with me, baby.
wooden box. Is that how the Italians do it?
You're nicer than that. Look at
You know what
yourself
you know the
ivory.
reference I'm making. You don't worry about it. I'm gonna be fucking paraded through the streets of fucking Vaughan in a chariot, carriage and shit. You don't worry about it.
You're the best clout farmer in the game, so yeah, I'd expect nothing less.
Tomorrow we talk about that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Someone on Twitter has been breaking the Godfather's balls, telling him that he's a clout chaser.
And this is why I get upset, and this is why I have my stand against social media. Okay? So you know what? Our guest here today is a fine young gentleman. So I got to meet a fine person off of your stupidity, fucking social media. So that's a big plus. That's a big plus. But the amount of people that try to break my balls, dude, man, I wouldn't. You wouldn't. But that's okay. I understand how it works, right? But you're going to call me a clout farmer. Me. Anyway.
I agree with the guy. I think you're just, you're overdoing it. You're screaming at a poor customer service agent at Fitzdares. Like,
you think fucking that's screaming? This fucking asshole says to me, oh, luckily you're talking to the man. Lucky? You're profiling me before I can even put in a bet. I'm lucky? No, brah. You lucky. Don't let my light's going to fall off again. I know.
It's banging and smashing. So let me ask you this, T. You met us in person. You're in a group chat with us, going back and forth, talking about props and shit all day long. Do we portray ourselves? Like, are we as real as we sound and as we seem on camera? Like, because I want to make sure, because that's something that I'm personally working on. I don't want to be fake. I don't like scripts. I don't like any. I want real. And that's when The Godfather's at its best too. But when you meet us in person, do you like, yeah, these guys are actually what they are on camera? Yeah,
it's the podcast extended. Yes.
Okay. Good. I just wanted to make sure. That makes me feel good. I make it feel like we're doing a good job.
It's real.
I'm actually a nice person when I'm not around the guy in the middle of your screen, and that's all I'm going to say.
More espressi, less depressi.
Yes. Okay. He provokes me. He sends me a gift wrapped in donuts. How would anybody take this?
That was Tony's idea, by the way.
You did nothing to stop him, so you are.
I encourage this. He knows how I think
so
now.
There
exactly.
You go. You are guilty too.
Tony, what camera are you using right now?
Webcam. What specific
okay.
one?
Yeah, no. I was wondering if it was just a phone, if you could flip it around and show us your setup, because I know you have a pretty badass setup. But
well, hey, listen, anybody that has man cave across the top.
Well, I see man cave too. That's what got my attention. So,
all right. So in the back, full on man cave stuff. We have a nice
beautiful. Oh, look at that!
If you don't like the helmet, you can send it to Newfoundland, Godfather. Look at that
helmet. I told you.
Look at the Steelers clock, the Steelers banners. It's all lit up. Yeah, there's some Blue Jays stuff in the hallway.
I love
and
it.
of course, the full screen setup of 4 monitors. I'm not gonna be able to pull that back. But 4 monitors, the whole kit and caboodle here.
The way you roll, you kind of fucking need them.
You can send me a picture of it. I think I have a picture. You sent it to me many times, and we'll post it on the Twitter account for the podcast. Okay, so we're at an hour. I think it's time we let everyone go, because we like to keep these shorter than they were in the past. No marathons. Shout out to T-Bone. He's got the record. And he was proud about that too. So just as a sign-off, T, what's a tip that you would give someone that is potentially in your position that you were in back in 2020? They're doing a job, they're doing this sports betting thing, they're winning, making the transition potentially to do it, taking it a little bit more serious. What's one tip that you would give that person?
Go for it. If you really think that you can do it, go for it, because the type of lifestyle that it can lead to is something you'll never get working a classical 9 to 5 job. But I will say that if you don't think that you can do it, and it's not for everybody, because the swings of this are crazy. You can have big days, losing days. You have to be able to keep an even keel about everything. And that's not something everybody can do. But with the amount of tools and things that are out there now, a person with a full-time job could sit down an hour and a half, 2 hours before the game, pick off a few bets that are plus EV, enjoy themselves, make some money, and not take it to the full extent. But if you truly want to do it and you love the grind and you have an edge, go for it, because it's fun. I'm having a blast doing it. I wish I wouldn't be doing anything else. It's true. I truly love doing it. It's fun every day.
That's a great answer. I got a question for you, Tony. Are you a very technical person? Like, do you like that aspect of things too? Like me, if I turn my laptop on, if it's not working 100%, like the shit starts to get thrown around.
Like I found you guys, I like to find people who are pretty good with things like that too. So I usually have a couple people in the back pocket, but know myself. Good. I mean, I'm not completely an idiot with the computers or anything, but I'm out here. I'm not an Excel master. I'm not doing anything like that. It's just, I'm very good at math. I'll say that. That's one of my great skills. I think you need to be in this game. Yeah.
I'm gonna say so. You throw numbers at me sometimes way too fucking quick, huh?
That is well said, though, dude. I always tell everyone the same type of thing, that if you do plan on doing this like as a full-time gig, it is a lot of fucking work. It is no different than having a job. It requires a lot of work. And like you said, it's not really the winning. You'll figure out that winning part. Obviously, it's tough, right? You can't be a gambler. If you're a gambler, this ain't going to work out for you. But you can figure out the winning thing. Is just that once you get through those initial accounts, then what do? That's when it becomes really difficult, and that's when it becomes a hardcore job. So my advice is always, maybe do it as a sideline, see how it goes there, see that you get an extra revenue stream coming on, and especially if you like sports, like Godfather, I know he's loving these props. He's watching everything every night. It's amazing, but you need an extraordinary level of discipline. That's what I'll throw into your
and
patience.
Commitment. 100%. It's about commitment.
It's a commitment. Yeah. You can't be missing. If your edge is in the NBA and you got a 10-game slate, you got to be home. You got to be grinding that thing. You can't go out for dinner. 100. You're not going to, the season's short. You got to grind. This edge may 100%. Not be here forever.
Yes. And that's another thing. And, every morning when we wake up, we look at our Telegram group chat, and sure enough, Tony's in there going, "Hey, good morning, guys," sends a couple memes and then blast off. "Hey, what do you have for this? What do you have for this? What do you have for this?" And you're gone. The day begins, and it's really something to be part of. And but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And go ahead, Goff.
I'd like to also add, and I do speak for all three of us. It is really, really important to have a fantastic life partner, be it a wife, be it a girlfriend,
110%.
Whatever. You need someone that understands understands you and what you're trying to do. This ain't going to work. You can have all the commitment, you can have all the grind, you can have all the edge you want. When you have somebody that's not on board, that's important too, Jesuit Grease, it's not going to work.
110%.
Everybody.
Happy wife, happy life.
There you go.
They got to understand it, because it is different. And I'll give a shout out to Britt as well, because she gets it. She actually misses the ticket days, because that was her side hustle. She'd go around walking around,
some participation,
right, slamming all those extras because she's got the good looks. Those store clerks giving her 200, 300 a pop when they're only supposed to give 100. Yeah, that was her. But yes, it is a full thing, and is a lot goes into this, and even the people around you need to be supportive of it, or else it just will not work, because there's there's a fine line between being a genius, borderline genius, figuring this stuff out. Genius is maybe giving us too much credit, but the other side of that line is complete degenerate. Yep. And we all know that's 99% of the people playing this games, especially if they're doing it every single day. So
on that point, I want to put out a Tomlinism. It's a fine line between drinking wine and squashing grapes.
Woo! And on that, I think we should sign off. Goofy Newfie, it's been a pleasure, my friend. How did it go? How did you like this? Did you like the feel
Excellent.
of the pod?
Great time, guys. Great time.
Yeah,
really
we're going 3-way a lot more. We're going 3-way.
Yeah, anytime. Guys.
I want Tony on.
Well, we'll bring it on. Maybe we'll throw in a couple picks like we did with Beagle Bets last time. But the thing is, another explanation quickly before we sign off here. Everyone's asking. I've been posting a little bit of our volume on Instagram these past days.
Yeah, stop that.
No. The volume is fine. You'll never see a big winning night because that's not what I want to highlight here. I'm going to highlight when we don't have good days and to let everyone know that this isn't just a one-way street, right? There are difficult nights. One of them was last night. But
last night
everyone's okay. You're going to share those picks. You're going to share those picks. You don't understand. If you don't do all of them, you can't do any of them. Because your variance is going to be through the roof. You could get lucky, but that's not what we're here. I'm not putting people, I don't know what your financial situation is. I'm not putting out these things for you to bet on them and they're going to lose and then you're going to hate my guts. You're going to hate the Godfather's guts. You're going to go out to Newfoundland and want to choke our guy. No
way.
Good luck.
That's not how it goes. Yeah. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But yes, thanks for doing this, T.
It was a pleasure.
And, guys.
We'll have you on again. And thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Catch
that
you.
gift is fucking beautiful, man.
Thank you, buddy. Really.
No.
Look at all this bromance going on. All right, enough.
Enough. Hit the theme song.
Jelly.
Everyone.
You jelly.